My name is Jody Wood, and I'm an artist from Brooklyn, New York. I've been here in residence at AIR 351 for the last couple of months. So I work in mediums of social practice, video, and performance art. And I'm normally looking at social support systems in times of transition or trauma and trying to build structures for communities to come together, care for each other, kind of strengthen those social support networks. And so a really recent project that I just did was called SOS System of Support, and it's a website for mutual aid where anyone in any zip code can offer something to help with or ask for something. And it's really meant to be a very low barrier website for social support during this time of pandemic where you can't really have the same interactions. I was exposed at a pretty young age to what it means to, first of all, to care for people in a very vulnerable state, but also to be stigmatized for being in that vulnerable state. And so a lot of my work has dealt with human vulnerabilities such as transition, loss, death, and also poverty and homelessness, these moments where you're kind of in between in society. So the project that I'm working on here at AIR it's called How is Your Health, or Como está sua saúde? And it's a portable health clinic that I'm installing in public spaces. And it's really meant to provoke a public conversation about overlooked dimensions of health through community exchange of remedies. So visitors will be invited to either give or receive a prescription for social health or emotional health or physical or mental or spiritual well-being, and then they can exchange. So they can take a prescription, they can write a prescription for each other, and so in the end this almost becomes a kind of an archive, a community archive about all the ailments and all of the cures that are coming out of Cascais. So this project right now, it's in the context of a global pandemic, of course, which kind of changes things because it shows how our structures of care and healthcare are really not as strong as we might have expected. And now it's not just certain people in a personal way confronted with health, it's everyone is confronted with health. And we're also seeing that physical health is not the only consideration we need to be talking about. There's also emotional health and social health and mental health and all of these other dimensions of health that are very interdependent with the physical. And so with this project that I'm doing, I want to bring those intangible aspects of health into the conversation, and just like to talk about how community members can have solutions for each other without relying on our institutions that are overburdened. And so I really, of course, I didn't expect this pandemic to happen, and I've been working on these subjects for a long time, but it really does give more urgency to these ideas, I think, in a way, and more of a universality to them as well.